Da-da-da.
We're rolling.
We're rolling now?
We're right on Facebook. Right now.
Hello, people watching from around the world and around the globe. This is Edwin Newman. Oh, sorry. You know, I interviewed Edwin Newman once, and he corrected every grammatical mistake. He wrote the book. What was it? Remember the book he wrote? It was something on grammar. As I say, or say, was some.
If it ain't wrong, don't fix it.
Something like. No, I don't think that was it. But Edwin Newman, when he was with NBC, in fact, he popped up. Oh, you know what it was? I was watching.
What's his name?
Edwin Newman.
famous.
Edwin. Edwin Newman. And he was just in a movie that was replaying that I watched again. It was from the 70s or something, where he was given a recap of the news. So it was an actual a piece of footage from when he was on NBC. And when I was an anchorman many years ago, he showed up and he had written his book, and it was I can't remember the name of it. I just popped into my head, and it was I almost had it, All He Says or so, whatever. And it was a book about how the Americans can't speak. We don't, we have no knowledge of anything.
And you'd have a heart attack now.
Oh my God! Oh God! And this was before Ebonics even.
Rap and all
and
that.
This was Anyway, so and I remember we were going to a commercial break, and I said something like, "And we'll be back hopefully with Edwin Newman after this quick time out." And he said, "Well, of course you misused the word hopefully." And that was perfect. And I'm pretty good at grammar. I mean, I'm a pretty good grammar guy and speller guy. But anyway, so I thought it was, why the hell do I was talking about Edwin Newman?
No.
God Almighty!
You want to drive everybody away, I guess.
But he was a very nice man, and it was pretty cool. And that was many years ago. Let's see. I got so many things going on. Weekend? Any exciting weekend cowabungas here today?
I'm feeling better. Thanks for asking.
Well, I was on your new contacts. I never want to bother
I
you.
completely forgot about that. Did you?
I think
figure
it's a
out-
sinus thing because the headache's almost gone, and it still kind of hurts if I move my eyes too quickly. I think it was just the worst sinus infection I'd ever had because I'm not as dizzy as I was.
You're like the third person I've known that in the past week that has been dealing with a sinus.
I
It
had
must
a
have been something that
nosebleed.
blossomed or
I
something.
had 2 nosebleeds in the last 3 days from just blowing my nose, which means which is from the sinus and problems with my blood thinners.
Well,
and
no
stuff.
good deed goes unpunished. I was walking more, so I was out more, and I probably was
Well, there you
exposed
are.
more to something. I don't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, but then it must be a thing in the
Maybe
air.
if you wear a mask out when you walk.
Well, yeah, that'd be
No.
great. And let's get some video of that, please.
By the way, after Flounder tells us what he did for the weekend,
Yeah.
we need to address something.
Oh God, I didn't even do anything. I didn't do anything.
All I know is for the first time in a long time, it wasn't me.
Oh, gee, I did. I worked my ass off trying to get on this, doing
How
this
was your
stuff.
weekend, Flounder?
Oh, criminy.
I was well, actually. What I do Saturday, I went over to my dad's house and hung out there. We went and ate at AJ Alexander's, had some steak and mahi, and then went home, watched the Braves game, passed out, and around 9-10 o'clock, the AC went out.
Your AC went out.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a nice surprise.
No, my dad's house. And so,
So you left?
yeah,
What kind of joint you running
I
here?
thought about
See
it.
you, Dad.
But it wasn't too bad. And then in the morning, luckily, someone was able to come there. And then Sunday, did lounging around the house, and then went to the pool and hung out with my niece and nephew.
Well, that sounds kind of.
And
a
then
family
went to
kind of
Moe's Pizza for dinner with my buddy Chris Murphy.
thing. Yeah. Well,
How you were doing?
Well, I donated a kidney, and I donated half my liver, and I helped the blind, and I took care of some AIDS children, and I performed several operations.
Did you happen to
at
go
Children's
online
Hospital.
at any point?
No, I don't think
You
so.
didn't have any discussions online with anybody?
Did I have discussions
Because-
online with anybody? I don't think so.
I got up early, got my everything done, got my little podcast done and put up, and I always put it on mine, and then I put it on Twitter, and then I put it on the Kimmer. I tried to put it on the Kimmer Facebook page, but
What?
it told me I couldn't. We have been, for the third time, it looks like, we have been suspended, this time for 3 days.
Oh, for God's sakes. For what?
You previously posted something that does not follow our community standards.
Like what?
And I'm thinking, what the fuck did I do? But then I
Yeah,
looked
by
it
the way,
up.
this is you doing it.
Usually it's me. No, this is you. Does the name Victoria Men's mean anything to you?
No.
Victoria said something, and you responded to her.
All right.
You said, bullshit. Good thing you didn't write Forrest Gump, or you'd have him smothered in his crib.
Oh, my...
Bitch. Stop looking at this magnificent creature. You don't deserve it.
That was from like 2 years ago.
Well, guess what? She either just saw it and reported you, or they just got around to it.
Well, block her. How do we block her?
No, I block her ass.
Oh, that's horseshit.
I'll look her up.
Honestly, God, that was...
You know what else is? Is that just like an outdated algorithm? Why is that from?
It's just, well, they're doing it all the time. They're going back years and years to get
so
you.
they're just starting
That's
to go
what
back
it was.
further and
This
further?
was back in the time when the issue was... Oh God, I remember using the example. You would have smothered Tiny Tim because he didn't meet up to your standards. It was like why they put the abortion clinics in black neighborhoods or something.
Yeah. Well, with Forrest
Oh,
Gump,
no, it was about my horse, too. That's what it was. She said, if the horse has a broken leg, you need to kill him.
Yeah.
And I said, you'd have smothered Tiny Tim because he was crippled. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, I'm defending my Jack the Good Boy by Jiminy.
But
So we got, so now what? I can't post on my Facebook?
3 days. 3 days.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I
Well,
don't care if
can
they
anybody
kick
else
it.
post on it?
No.
So it's shut down?
It's shut down.
Oh, for God. And how do we tell people? I'm doing this, I guess.
Well, they go
No,
on.
we don't. That's the
All right, we
thing.
need to block. How do we block her?
We don't need Facebook.
Well, but I'm
We've
so I
got
can't post.
thekimmershow.net, and we've got.
So I can't post my horse videos.
Not for 3 days, no. Not on the Kimmer Show. Your
Like
personal.
on my personal one, I can. Oh, for God's sakes.
It wasn't me.
Or me.
She's the one who should be punished for trying to get me to
we're gonna
kill
get
my
her.
horse.
I'm just kidding. We're not going to get her.
Well, can we take care of this
I'll
woman?
block her when we get. We'll block her. We're not going to take care of her.
Yeah, no, I want to take care of her.
We're not going to have Rocco and
Send a team over there.
what's
Hey,
his name?
Moose, Rocky.
Moose Rocco
Help
go
the
visit
judge
her.
find his wallet.
I'll let the woman find her fingers.
Oh my God, man! Oh, what a bunch of
I
crap!
tell you, the as soon as all this ends and I don't make money off Facebook anymore, I am so out of Facebook.
The only reason I use it for is to put on horse videos.
I know. The only reason I'm on it because we make money off of it. That's it. So screw them. We're making money off of them.
Oh, and these are people all over the world. You know, I mean, watching the podcast and going on the Facebook and leaving messages. I mean, this is unbelievable.
It's ridiculous.
Now, if they try to, can they go on Facebook and look at stuff that's on there now?
I doubt it. I don't know. Can you? Flounder, try and go on there.
Yeah, see if you can open it up and see what's
I
on
don't think.
there.
Well, I couldn't because I'm the manager, so it won't let me.
Now,
on it.
well, the other thing is, can we put a message on there saying, by the way?
I don't think so.
Well, for God's sakes.
And you know what? That's not saying that in 3 days they don't just go
I
ahead
don't
and
think
kick
we
us
want
off.
this on the table. Hey, Flounder.
What do you mean? The microphone
Yeah,
jack?
there's a mini microphone,
Microphone
and
jack.
earplugs.
Yeah, that's what that is. Look, a butt plug. Look at that.
Well,
Get
there's
that
a
butt plug
nipple
off there.
clip of some kind.
people can go on there and you
Can you?
the live Facebook. They see us right now. So
Okay, so people can go on there.
yeah, we just can't.
Post.
So nobody can add anything to it.
Posting this video.
Yeah, but I can't,
Okay.
and I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't
Okay.
know. I can't. So.
All right. Well, I'll try. I'll find out. I bet I can't because that's happened. Well, that's what.
And
a
they may
bunch
still
of
kick us off in
bullshit.
3 days. They may say that's it. You're gone because we've done it 3 times now.
That's not an offense to punish some. Oh,
Not only
God.
that's wrong because this is 2 years ago. These rules are made.
Yeah, I mean that's.
They could have been made
They don't
after
care.
you made that comment.
They don't care. These little nerds out there in Cupertino or whatever, they live for this. They live for this.
Jesus. Well, anyway.
Which is
all
when the
right.
big quake hits and they all get sucked into
Yeah.
the Middle Earth. I ain't got to lose 1 minute sleep.
In fact, I heard on 106.3, the radio station we're affiliated with. Again, if you go to thekimmershow.net, you can link up to Extra 106.3. You get the free app. You can hear our podcast that they play back at noon on Saturday. I call in Friday mornings. They play that stuff. The Neil Bort thing is connecting to all that stuff on with our link to the radio station. And the reason I mentioned that was a reason I don't have in my
Edwin
head anymore.
Newman. You wanted to bring Edwin
Dear
Newman up,
God,
I remember.
What the hell did I say that I was going to talk about?
Oh, wait a minute.
my
here. Hold
dear
on,
Lord.
Hold on a
Well,
second.
we were
Kimmer
just talking about it.
has already forgotten twice. Now, Atlanta Custom
Holy
Closets,
Jesus.
closetpro.net. Jesus can't help you on this. He doesn't want to. 404-255-0589. That's Atlanta Custom Closets, closetpro.net. Jesus could help you on this, but I don't think.
Well, all right. Now, actually, speaking of Facebook, I forgot what I was just talking about something, and I was going to remind him to look at it. Anyway, God, I hate when I do this. For some reason, speaking of Facebook,
Yes, sir.
I'm not on my message app on my phone. I opened up my message app and I got a message from, I think it was Michael, somebody, whatever. And on the bottom of the message, it said, "Order confirmed or not now." Have you ever had that pop?
Ignore it.
I know, but what the hell is it?
It's a bot ad. It's bullshit.
And I did, or I put "not now" or something,
hit that.
but all of a sudden it keeps popping up like "order confirmed."
You should, don't
Ignored.
respond. How many times have we told you not to respond?
But what have I done? I didn't do anything. I put not, and it's still popping up. Now, did I just buy something? Am I going to get a bill for a house or a freaking car or something or a ski-doo or whatever?
They're at your place right now, rent.
Jeez, I mean, what the hell? I mean, this is, I hate everybody and everything right now. It's not, that's not good. Confirm here, not now. And confirm later. No, I confirm anything. I never touched it. I know. Oh, bastards. All right, hold on. God, I was going to say something about something.
Okay.
I can. All right, no, wait a minute. We're good. I got a million things. I was listening on the way in, and I heard somebody talking about. That's what it was. I was listening to 106.3 on the way in, and we were talking about the issue, and they would mention about it, and I'll try to remember what it was. I hate this. Well, I'm thinking of it.
What the hell? You haven't.
No.
Just
Okay,
do something.
I did put.
Say it.
Well, you're the one who started it. Now I'm afraid to say anything. You get banned. They're going to kick me out of my own podcast. I put this on Facebook, and I'm not sure whether I sent it to you guys personally. For the first time ever, I believe, I used my credit card, my Visa card, at the gas pump, because I haven't gotten my replacement Exxon card yet, because I canceled it when I thought I lost my wallet. So I don't have my card's no good, so I threw it away. So for the first time ever, I used my Visa card at a gas pump, a place where I've only used Visa if I'm going to a store, I'm out of town, I want to charge it, I use my Visa card. But I've never used it to buy gas or to buy groceries at Publix, or I just
check
don't
it?
do stuff like that.
Shake the thing.
What?
The thing you put in.
Yeah,
you
put
shake
in.
it.
Yeah.
Shake it to make sure it's not going to fall off in your hand.
Oh, yeah, no, I know, the card reader. In fact, they had those at ATMs, too. Remember the scam on that one, too. And actually, I do that because I saw one at a gas station.
Yeah, I always do it.
And it looked like it. Anyway, so I put the card in, and it said approved, and I pumped the gas, and where it stopped, I put the thing back in the pump, and I looked at the gauge, and the amount of gallons I bought was 7,777.
Cash 4.
Popped up on its own without me even and I said, "Oh my God!" And so I so I did a little Facebook thing, and I had little Kimmer's Easter egg, a hidden little thing there for my guide of my pointer. Anyway, so I mentioned it on Facebook, and I got some reaction from a bunch of people. And I have to be. I'll tell you this too. When I put the card in there. Mm-hmm. I kind of held my breath. I said, I hope this is not going to go back to bite me. I don't like doing it. You have to drag me into this whole, anyway. So I actually was holding my breath. And when I got the 7777, I got a bunch of messages from people saying that's an angel number. And it says you will, what does the 7777 angel number mean? Get some insight into what the future may hold and show you which path to take. In its essence, 7777 stands for wisdom, motivation, perseverance. Thus, if you keep seeing it, you should take it as a sign you need to persevere and keep going down the road you have chosen.
On your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness.
So I got that going for me.
They could be the 4 random numbers that just popped up.
Well, now see that. Now, why in the world? We're talking angel things and past and stuff. By the way, I just thought of this. It's stupid too. By the way, all right, you're going to have to edit this whole segment.
The beginning of the show.
The whole thing so far. We wasted 12 minutes.
Talk about filler.
In case we ever need it, you mean? All right, I'm doing a little trick with you. I mentioned before that if any man of a certain age, if he hears the phrase, Joey, we all know from Airplane, Joey, have you ever been in a Turkish prison? All those kind of things. A couple other things struck me when I read this. The word, if I say the word, first as a setup, a few years ago, I think this happened to me too. Whenever I hear the song by Sheena Easton, Take the Morning Train, what is it? What's the name of that song? If I'm to take the morning train, I'm working 9 to 5 again. What the hell's the name of that?
Who sings that?
Sheena Easton.
Let's keep it that way.
Thank you. Anyway, when she plays that song, I think of one thing in my head that I can't get out of my head if I hear that song.
What?
The Seinfeld episode when George is pretending to be handicapped and the girl's walking down the hall carrying him and he's tripping people with a cane. You remember that scene? Yeah. And I'm going to take the morning train. And that was the song played. And if I hear that song, I think of that episode of Seinfeld. What a ridiculous thing to pop into my head. Yep. When I read this morning, when I was writing my stuff down here, and I actually quoted this little angel phrase, and it said, "You need to persevere." Do you know what happens when I hear? You know what I think of when I hear the word persevere?
No.
Outlaw Josie Wales, and the famous Indian chief, where he says, "They gave us these costumes and these fine medals, and told us to persevere." To persevere. And I'll never forget he was telling that to Josie Wales, Clint Eastwood. Anyway, that's how this crazy mind works. Okay, a quick shout out to somebody. Have you ever heard of a company called Junk Luggers?
No.
Junk Luggers. I'm driving down 400. Everybody, by the way, 400 way up, farther up north. I mean, there's some cops up there, but people are going fast. And I'm in the right-hand lane, doing probably 80, in traffic. I mean, and coming up beside me is a truck, like a big yellow and orange panel, big,
License plate 30.
No, and it's and he's kind of right next to me, and there's no way that you stay right next to somebody unless you want to get their attention. Either you're passing or you're not. But if there's open road in front of you, and there was open road in front of him, so finally I hear the because they're doing it fast, you can't hear anything. So I roll down the window, and there's some guy leaning out the window of this junk Luggers. Screaming something about the Marine Corps and something, and I wonder if he was a podcast listener. So, and for some reason, I got the idea that he was saying something about the podcast. So I don't know who you are, and they went blowing by me. Anyway, if you're the Junk Luggers, good to see you. I guess was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday afternoon, and maybe you can join us as a sponsor because we have room for several sponsors here on the podcast. Anyway, so hello to Junk Luggers. Did you see? A couple of things. And by the way, we'll talk. I'm sick and tired of issues, but we're going to talk about them. You want to talk about Janet Yellen? I love Janet Yellen. I think she needs to be punished or go to jail. Denver's embarrassing itself on police force in high schools now. Wait till you hear what they've done again. The greatest of all time cop story turns out to be the goat of a different kind. Also, whipped cream in New York can make you get a serious fine. But first, Barry sent a video. I don't know if you saw this. I couldn't believe it. I didn't see it on the news. Of course, I don't watch anything but Fox once in a while. President Potato Head was speaking to reporters. And Dr. Jill, she's a doctor of cuckoldry and community colleges. Dr. Jill comes up behind him, grabs both his shoulders, and pulls him backwards while he's speaking. Yeah. Did you see that?
That's dangerous. This is two things at once.
I mean, he's still talking, and she's just, let's move back here. She's just moving him back like a 4-year-old.
Technically, that's the United States. The Secret Service could get involved with that, couldn't they?
Did you say? You got to look at this video. I think I sent it to you.
She was doing it for a better camera shot, probably.
But even so, it was like treating him like a little puppy or something. Oh my God. But it's not. I mean, I did see another. Somebody finally on NBC, an NBC reporter, I think on MSNBC, was saying, a lot of people are pretty upset about the way it's going to hurt. I mean, there's starting to be some rumblings among the media, perhaps. And I don't know. Bill Maher just got roasted by some other people. I think he was talking.
He went
to
off. Him and Rob
Meathead.
Reiner went after it.
No, we haven't played that yet. That's just. Isn't that just from this week? Maybe if we have some of that flounder, maybe a little.
That we played this morning.
Yeah, let's play that. That was pretty. We'll do that.
Reiner and Klobuchar defending the media. Both of them aghast that Maher even brought up the possibility
can
that the
you prove
media
it? I mean,
might be leftist.
Has that really been proven? Yeah, they said it. I mean, we'll play it.
My father was a reporter, and I don't think this is. They're all pretty objective. It's like what?
We'll get to it. It's hysterical. But again, she's actually moving him backwards like a. I couldn't freaking believe it. A couple quick things, and we got some newsy stuff. I got all the newsy stuff. First of all, they postponed the space shot. I've totally lost interest in the space program for some reason.
Well, if NASA knew what they were doing, they would call Elon Musk.
Well, there you are. And again, how's it possible 50 years after the moon landing, we still can't get the rocket up in the air? I don't know, whatever.
Because you had all those Democrats screaming, we've got so many problems here on Earth that we have to fix first. Screw that. You've had 3,000 years to get that fixed. Let's go to Mars.
And all your power. Yeah, absolutely.
It was trending a little bit that, the moon landing was fake.
Yeah.
I saw a show the other day that basically they got up there and they were met by aliens and everything. They made a pretty compelling case for it.
Speaking of crazy, Ozzy Osbourne has put his house up for sale.
They're leaving.
$18 million. They're leaving to go back to England. He says, America's too crazy with all the gunfire. Kids are getting killed every day with all you crazy gunfire people. And his goofball wife, Sharon, says, well, there's nothing united about the United States of America.
Well, she's
yes,
right.
because you liberals, that's
She's
exactly
right.
correct. And we know exactly who to blame, too. The divider in chief.
It
They're
ain't
even
getting
worse
back
than
together.
Pudding Tat.
I hate their worldview and our worldview does not have room for compromise.
No. No, in fact, that's the point. There's no way that I have confidence that I will ever be able to have a meaningful discussion with a true liberal and keep it civil. I mean, I can't do it. I won't be able to do it. In fact, I've told you I go on Twitter maybe once a day in case I don't know what's going on, and whatever. And I'm scrolling down, and I see nothing really interests me, and I don't really care about it. But I did see it said Ashley Babbitt, and I thought, well, I wonder what's going on there. Maybe they've done some investigation, whatever. So I opened up a little thing, Ashley Babbitt, on the Twitter thing. And I don't even know how it started, but according to the Twitter comments, Ashley Babbitt is a traitor. She's a murderer. She got what she deserved. She was a dupe by the white supremacists in the Donald Trump camp. I'm thinking, oh my God! I mean, it was so vicious. I couldn't even read it.
Reiner and Klobuchar both on the Mars show talked about the armed insurrection. Who was armed?
The only people who were armed were the cop who shot Ashley Babbitt in the neck
and
for
they
no
kept
reason.
kept saying
No
the armed
guns.
insurrection. What armed insurrection?
And it wasn't an insurrection either. There'd have been dead bodies everywhere. I mean, it's just. Well, you want to play it?
And they just get away with it.
Yeah, let's. Yeah, Flounder, have you got time to get that?
I have is more on the Hunter laptop stuff.
There's Mars saying, the media buried it.
Well,
and they're going, no.
Yeah. Well, let's play. Have you got that handy?
Yeah.
All right. Well, here's a little bit of the. Yeah, the wrong to say the honor.
They were talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, which was a story, and now all the mainstream press has finally admitted it was a real story. It was a real laptop with. Now, look, let's not.
Hold on real
He
quick.
was selling the influence of his father.
And again, the problem is nobody really cares. I mean, we do because we're of a certain age. We're in the news business. We've been, news people and junkies and so forth. But, my kids aren't involved in this issue. They don't talk about it. They don't watch it on the news. They go about their lives doing their things. I think most Americans, I don't think anybody really gives a damn. I don't think they care. I think we're in such a terrible malaise. There's so much division that they just are ignoring it all.
How do you fix it? Because the entire government's against you. The entire media is against you. The entire popular culture is against you. You at one point you just throw up your hands and say we've lost.
Well, now that we mentioned before that we know they took Hollywood a long time ago, and they've got the major media, and they've got big tech. They have advertising in the media and magazines and TV and radio and Hollywood and movies and films, but and advertising but the worst thing to happen is the explosion of big tech. And Facebook and Twitter and YouTube. I mean, oh my God, Amazon. I mean, the immense nature of things you do on your phone and on your computer, and now they've got the military. Silly Millie, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, is now told the Army, well, I'll tell you what, if we can't get any good recruits because they're fat and lazy, let's give them another 90 days to kind of get it together. So they're having the famous Second Chance program now, which is, okay, fine, but still, I guess they have to work on the use of their pronouns. They now have activities planned and demanded by upper-ranking officers to make sure that people know they're not to be offended or to offend anybody if they're using the wrong pronouns. I can't believe it.
Insanity.
I can't believe it. I don't know what the hell's going on. All right, hold on. I want to talk about Holy Crap at Sports. I'm guessing later today.
Already did.
Oh, you already? Oh, my God.
See, I couldn't get it on your Facebook page because...
I still can't believe... That's so wrong. It's just so wrong.
Again, what you need to do is you need to let me know and we can get it on the kimmershow.net and they can go to that link and get it.
I'm telling you
that's
right
a great
now
idea.
that I couldn't get it.
Oh, thank you. Anyway, well, I mean, that's just... And again, she wanted me to... Well, whatever. Okay, so Holy Crap at Sports, do you have a lead?
For the first time ever, I didn't hear one siren during the East Lake golf tournament.
There used to be a lottery. There used to. I want to talk about that too. In fact, I got a bunch.
I grew up around over there, and
Little Vietnam is what they called it.
Oh no, it wasn't Vietnam. It was the hood.
Well, no, but it was called Little Vietnam.
Who was calling it that?
East Lake. Everybody.
The black people that lived there weren't calling it that.
Everybody calling it Little Vietnam.
Maybe you golfers were, but everything else was the hood.
We golfers, well, the white male golfers
I remember
were.
Columbia Mall, Avondale Mall.
That's the whole thing.
I have relatives buried in that parking lot.
Okay, but the neighborhood at the golf course was called Little Vietnam.
Okay.
Anyway, and by the way, a couple of very touching things.
They're good landscapers because that place looked beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Yeah,
it looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And Atlanta, the overhead shot.
Yeah,
this actually looked like a nice place to live.
I know it did.
Little do they know.
What a disgraceful misappropriation of actuality.
By the way, while you're doing that,
yes.
I'm going to model this year's a line of Manuel Noriega's Panama collection.
I was going to say, what the hell? You walk in there with your short actions and the old... I haven't seen a shirt like that in 30 years.
It was my dad's shirt, man. I love this shirt.
Well, the thing is those are back in style. Those are vintage.
You know what? They're nice and cool.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, my God, they're so cool.
Well, whenever the final wife and I used to go, we used to take a lot of vacations. We usually go to Mexico because it's an hour, 20-minute flight, and you're on the beach in 2 hours. But whenever we went on vacation anywhere to the beach, I wore nothing but Hawaiian shirts.
I love them.
Just throw them on, and I don't give a shit how you live. It doesn't matter. Just that's how you did. Anyway, boy, I'm sure glad I thought about that. Yeah. Hey, I think I'll take another vacation with maybe another girl. No more blondes. Oh, sorry. Forget the whole thing. I'll get a nice Puerto Rican girl. Settle down. But first. Don't forget, I mentioned going to thekimmershow.net. If you would like to join us as a sponsor, much like our good friends and our longtime sponsors, Wise RV Glass, W-I-S-E, Wise RV Glass, a sponsor not only of the podcast, but also the Facebook page when we're able to operate it. Sorry, Wise RV Glass, I owe you. Anyway, if you have an RV or a motor coach or a camper, something like that, and you have any kind of a glass issue, they'll come and fix it for you. And I say they'll come to you because that's what they do. It's an all-mobile service. Even a rear view mirror that's cracked or has a little spider web or something, or a fogged-up double-pane window, or even those hard-to-find one-piece flat windshields in some of the RVs and so forth, whatever it is. And don't be afraid of, it's only a rear-view mirror. That's what they do. They'll fix it, and it's all mobile. They come to you. Save you time and money. Put it right in your own window frame. All-mobile service. No job is too small or too big. If you have a fleet of vehicles and had some damage in the windows or whatever, they'll take care of all that for you. Wise RV Glass. Dad Carl is retired, but son Russell's running the things in full swing there. It's a really great company business. Here's a phone number. You want to give him a call. Area 470-345-6521. That's wiservglass.com. And thank you so much.
Breaking news.
All right.
Georgia tight end Eric Gilbert involved in a car accident on the campus over there in Athens.
Ooh.
And they've got their car all jacked up here. It doesn't say how bad it is. He's okay. His white Mercedes was totaled.
Oh, I guess you got the NIL going. In fact, I brought in the Sports Illustrated football issue, and it's a big one, just to give to Pete.
Excuse me?
Well, no, I mean it's one of those big, huge, it's college football and pros or whatever. And they were talking about but here's what's amazing to me. They mentioned a couple of schools, in particular Texas A&M, and it talked about how Alabama's coaches said they're buying all their players and so forth.
They are.
Not once have they mentioned how much the kids are getting. No one said a word. How much is it?
I saw figures. There's a kid at Tennessee who hasn't played squat. He's got $8 million over 3 years. And
Are you
and
serious?
Herb Street says, look, NIL was supposed to be for the Bryce Youngs who have accomplished something so they get recompense for who they are and their name. It wasn't supposed to be, okay, this week I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee offered me this. Now I'm going to go to Starkville and Mississippi State's going to offer me this. That's not how it was supposed to work, which is why Congress will probably step in
well, they
because
almost
of crap
have
like
to.
this.
Well, you're corrupting the entire top tier of college football.
And only the top 6 or 7 can afford
Or
these
just
guys.
make it I mean, honestly, I just think they should make the Division 1A, the big time Charlie, just make it semi-pro and say so and work out your.
I think they've done that.
Yeah, I mean, basically.
And the minor league ball
But
players
just be
are
honest
now
about
going to unionize. So how soon
Yeah.
before the college football players unionize?
I mean, Jesus, you got to be kidding me. I did see. I forgot what team. I might have been University of Tennessee, but that may not be right.
University of Tennessee. That
Some,
doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. They have a university? Sorry. Yeah, Vanderbilt went there by mistake. I thought we were in Kentucky. This is a Kentucky. Anyway, one company has paid every single scholarship player $25,000. Every
Yeah.
one of them gets $25,000. But that to me,
Okay.
that's fine. Honestly, to me, I think that's a great idea because college kids, if you're on scholarship, you're not allowed to have a job. And so if you're on scholarship and if you're poor and you get a scholarship, you can't take your girlfriend to the movies or buy a pizza. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with that. But $8 million? Oh, my God.
And he hasn't done anything.
Well, what are they going to offer Archie Manning's nephew, kid, or whatever? I don't know.
Clone.
This grandchild. I don't know what the hell it is.
Arch Manning. Well, Texas already has him. So I don't know what he got.
Oh, my God. Well, if it's legal, I think it's wrong, but it's legal.
They're going to have to do something. The colleges either will sit down and figure this out, the ADs, and they'll probably end up with a czar of college football, kind of like a commissioner, or it's going to be the Wild Wild West gone insane, and Congress will step in. And you don't want that to happen.
Especially if Democrats do it. Well, I don't know.
Well, they
maybe
don't know
not.
anything about
I don't. Maybe
football
not.
anyway.
Well, let's do a little Holy Crap at Sports, best sportscast in America.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How much pressure would be on you if you knew It came down to one hole for $18 million.
Right. Yeah, can you imagine?
Can you? And of course, the first Scheffler puts it in the bunker. Rory hits the tent and almost kills somebody.
Yeah.
I don't think, of course they did.
I couldn't stop watching the last thing. And one of the guy was in fourth place, had a putt for like $6 million.
Was it M?
Yeah, I am a Korean kid. His last name
$18 million
$18 million
hole.
Yeah. That's right.
Even for those guys, they're rich. Well, Scheffler is just now starting, but Rory's rich.
$18 million. It used to be $1 million per. I mean, now it's $18
the
million.
Masters is just $2 million for the winner.
I know.
$18 million. And there was a difference of almost $12 million between first and second.
Right. It was
so
a $6 million putt. Yeah, that one guy.
What pressure?
Well, I want to talk about that in a second.
Would you rather take 18 mil or 2 mil and win the Masters?
It depends on what if I was just starting out.
If I was just
I want the 18 mil.
I'll take the money. Yeah.
But
if I'm my age right now, I'll take the Masters.
But again, the Masters.
It's
well. First of all, the Masters changes your life. You never really have to work. I mean, you get golfing endorsements, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so it probably comes out even or better, for that matter.
It depends if you ever do anything afterwards.
You won't suffer in life.
If you're Mike Weir, you disappear.
That's true. Anyway, any thought on already the football rankings? George is now already number 3 national champions, or 4, depending on. It's always Alabama, and now in Ohio State, and now they got Notre Dame up there.
Yeah,
at Oklahoma.
That coach is new. We don't know anything about. I hate the preseason poll. You have to have it, but I wait for the peak poll till after they played. Everybody's played a game, at least one game, and then I got an idea of what's going. Even in the first game, you don't know what you have in the first game. It usually takes to the second or third game for you know what you got.
Yeah, but I was kind of laughing when I said, "Well, Georgia's third. They're national champions, and who did they beat?"
I'll tell you what, they're going to play Oregon right off the bat this weekend, and you'll see. I mean, I think they'll beat them, probably handle.
Yeah. And again, I don't really follow college sports that much, but I did tune in a little bit. Let me give you your sports section here on Saturday for the official beginning of college football weekend. Not a lot of great games on, but there still was college football. And I didn't see much of this, but I started reading about it later. Lee Corso.
Yeah, of course.
87 years old, and people are saying it's time to go.
I said you're 2 or 3 years ago. It's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch.
And I love seeing him there, and it's great that he's there, but it's hard to watch.
He's 87. I mean, God bless him.
Do they want something to happen on set? That's the problem.
Well, they can't think it's good broadcasting, do they? I mean,
people love him. People love. They want to see him there.
At some point.
But at some point, my fear is something bad will happen during the broadcast. He's going to fall
asleep or fall over or
have
die.
Have a stroke.
Yeah, I mean, he's 87. I mean, just
but
walking
should you tell
up to
someone
the set,
to quit working just because they're old?
Does he could die walking up the stairs to the set, looking over the crowd.
Does he still have it?
So could Herb Street. Herb Street's in his 40s, and he had to deal with blood clots in the off season. That could have killed him.
I know. Anyway, I thought it was. I mean, I've never actually liked him much. I remember one time somebody on the set. This is probably 4 or 5 years ago. Somebody on the set was making a joke about him when he dressed up in a dress or a hat or something, and Corso just ripped him and said, that's totally unprofessional. I really don't appreciate that. It's insulting, and I think you deserve it. And I went, oh, my God. It was the worst moment I've ever seen in sports. It was horrible.
The best moment ever, though. At Oxford, he put on the Alabama Crimson elephant hat.
The elephant head.
And Katy Perry ripped it off his head.
Anyway, I feel bad for him if he's starting to get ripped. And somebody will do something. I don't know.
Both he and Herb Street say Ohio State will beat Bama in the
final game, Everybody's saying it. Yeah. So George is not even going to make it to the final game, by the way, already.
That's what they're
even
saying.
Though we had the guy who was also Stetson Bennett. Big article on him in that Sports Illustrated, by the way, which is he sounds like a really good guy. He's the first to practice, the last out of practice. He helps people. He studies like Greek literature. So I mean, Jason, he sounds like a real great kid.
Here's your choice you make. You're the Cinderella story. It's one of the great stories of all time, like Joe Burrow at LSU a few years ago. You're not going to top this. Even if they win it again, it's not going to be topped to what you did last year when everybody was against you, and you came back and you beat the team that beat you a few weeks before. That is as Cinderella as it gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're not going to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
So you got one more year in college glory, even if it's kind of sucks.
And
you
take
don't
your
win,
NIL money. And
or you say, okay, I'm out of here, knowing full well you're not going to play in the NFL.
yeah. Well, they keep
What would you
mentioning
do?
he's 5'10". They keep saying, he's 5'10".
Yeah, he's not an NFL quarterback.
Maybe.
It's like
Yeah.
people got mad at me a few years ago when Jake Fromm came out. And the Bills, and I said, he's never going to be a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh, you just hate Georgia. No, I don't hate Georgia.
Yeah,
but he's not a starting quarterback.
he's
He'll
not
hold
NFL.
a clipboard. Well, he's not even in NFL anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
that
good
was
for him, he's back in school. Which
Yeah,
is good.
that was not a mean thing to say. Everybody thought that who wasn't.
No, but Georgia fans, man, it's like Auburn fans and Ole Miss. You can't talk about my boy like
Right.
that. Like I've been telling Ole Miss fans, Matt Corral is probably not a starting quarterback
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He got hurt in like the first preseason game.
Yeah. A quick one football note. Did you see Peyton Manning jumping out of an airplane with the Navy SEALs, tandem parachute jump? And they showed him in the plane before, and he's soaking wet. His sweat poured down his And I remember when Wayne No Offense and I did it on my anniversary. And my final wife and his wife were down on the ground waiting for us to see us floating out of the air. And hopefully we died, because I was worth a lot more money then
Life
than
insurance.
I am now. I was, yeah. Every woman I ever dated me wanted to be my ex-wife.
It's August 29th, and I think I've already exceeded my Peyton Manning quota for this year. So.
That could be possible. Now, back to, very quickly, to East Lake. And again, I think I played it three or four times. Back in the day when the closing hole was the long par 3, is now the ninth hole. They switch it for tournaments. I'm not sure whether they switch it for good for members, but it used to be the par 3, the long par 3 at the end was number 18. Now it's for the tournament was number 9 this past weekend. Anyway, so the holes what they're playing as number 15. When I played it. And I played it with Danny McLefty, one of my longtime best friends, and his brother used to play out there. And also, I can't remember, it was a former U.S. amateur champion. I'm having one of those name things. Great golfer, great guy. Was in the liquor business after he gave up. He wasn't a professional golfer, but amateur champ. He took me out there once. And I played a couple, and I had some wonderful time. That may be the hardest, non-looking hardest golf course I've ever played. When you get on, most of the tees, when you get on at East Lake and you look at them, it's right there. You see the bunkers on the left or a lake on the right, whatever, and it just looks like a golf. I mean, it's a beautiful course, but it doesn't look like, it doesn't look tricked up. It doesn't look like a railroad ties everywhere and stuff like that. But man, if you're a foot offline, you're going to have a very long day.
That grass, it just ate the ball.
This is a true story. Danny McLefty and I think maybe Big Giant Huge Dave Lavelle, and maybe Danny's brother. Tom. So we get on the first tee, the original first tee, and we all hit really good drives. And back when I was playing pretty good, we all hit pretty good drives. And Danny and I, and it might have been three of us, hit them a little bit. It started fading a little bit to the right. So we get in our thing. We head on down there. Both of us never found the ball. It couldn't have been 3 feet off the fairway, and we never found the freaking ball. It goes down in that Bermuda rough, and it's gone. Honest to God, I mean, it's the damnedest thing. Anyway, so talk about a hard golf course. But here's why why the pros play it differently, and even they were having trouble. Shoffley, this little guy named Shoffley. I don't know if he's Australian or something. Xander Shoffley. He's like 5'9", 160 maybe. Number 15, as they played number 15, which is now number 15, par 3 yesterday. It's the one over water. It used to be like number 6 or whatever was 7. When I played it back then, it was like 165 to 175 yards, something like that. Now it's 230. Or it can be. They put new tees back there to make it 230 yards. Shoffley, when he teed yesterday, it was 221 yards, and he hit a 7-iron.
I have no idea what that means.
7-iron. Flounder? You might probably have a
7-iron, and how hard did he hit it?
220 yards.
Okay, I'd be using a hybrid or a 3-wood.
Well, a 7-iron. When I was playing a lot and I was a 2 handicap, my 7-iron went 160, and that's a good solid 7-iron. Well, any golfer listening, 220 yard 7-iron.
That's a long ball.
that's a 5 wood or anyway.
Right. That's your memory of East Lake. You played it 3 times, blah, blah. You know what my memory of East Lake is?
What?
First of all, I grew up playing Little League right down the street in Glenwood Avenue.
Yeah.
I'd never
Well,
heard that there was a golf course over there when we were kids.
Of course
it
not.
had fallen in disrepair. 1979, my senior year of high school, me and Joe Hendershot camp out at Avondale Mall at the Sears in the parking lot. Even then, it was kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a bad neighborhood.
Right next to Towers High School.
All the members had fled East Lake and made the new course up in Dunwoody became their new East Lake North.
It was run down at that point.
Atlanta Athletic Club.
And we camped out overnight. I think we may have had a gun with us in his Volkswagen. We were camping out for the Ticketmaster machine, which was the only one near us on the east side of Atlanta, for ELO tickets at the Omni,
Electric Light.
which
We like
everybody
that.
to this day says is one of the greatest concerts they ever saw.
Yeah, it's a great
Well,
band.
we didn't see it because at 8 a.m. Saturday morning, the machine broke.
Oh no!
So we didn't get to go get tickets or buy it. You talk about screwed. So we're saying, what the hell are we going to do? He goes, I got a friend that works at a golf course. I go, what golf course? He goes, there's a golf course around the corner called East Lake. I go, there's no golf course over here. He goes, yeah. So we went over there and we pulled up in front. He had a friend who was a caddy or something. And we pull up and I'm looking around and it looked like basically a municipal course in South
an
Boston or
overgrown,
something.
weedy,
It was.
yeah.
I remember looking around and going, who the hell
Well,
would
everybody
play
fled.
here?
All the members fled and went north to Alpharetta.
And then years
John
later, when I
Street,
find out they're going to revamp it, they're going to revamp it. They'd have to.
Was that Cousins took that
forget
upon
who did
himself
it.
to make? But here's the thing: when I played, even before that, the golfers at East Lake would literally, when you teed off, one of the things you did was to pick a hole when you thought you'd hear your first gunshot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not making that up.
Yeah. It was that bad.
Yeah, and they used to call it. It was the whole neighborhood was the hood, but the East
East
Lake Golf Course
Atlanta
was
and-
Little Vietnam.
Yeah. Well, that's weird. Yeah.
Little Vietnam. That was the first thing I remember when somebody said, and I said, "Oh, you want to play Little Vietnam?" And went into such disrepair because of the violence. Everybody fled, and they made the new golf course.
And it started. I worked with a guy, a gay guy. I won't say who it is because he's famous father. But he and his boyfriend had moved back over there. I go, you're crazy.
Yeah.
Because, there's a lot of us over there. We're gentrifying the neighborhood.
Well,
but I'm still, you got better have
Yeah,
a gun in
I
that
know,
neighborhood. Because
yeah.
I went back a few years ago to our old Little League ball fields there at Glenwood Hills. And they were gone, and all what was left was basketball courts, which showed the
Yeah.
demographics
Well,
had changed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I haven't been there in 15 years probably. So
It
I don't
looks
know
nice
what's
from
going-
the air.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's Bobby Jones. It's true. I walked on the place where Bobby Jones was playing golf, and how can you not? I mean,
Hell,
that's
they
a
found
bucket list.
a cannon. There's an old Civil War road or something, or embankment, that they were digging up to move something. They found a cannonball.
Really? How cool is that? That's very cool. Anyway, that's a few things in your latest sports section, sir. Let's see what else we got. I think I did hit balls over the weekend. I hit a bucket of balls. In fact, I may try to hit another bucket of balls.
Well, good for you.
Later on, if I if I get lucky.
Ball striking. Yeah.
Ball striking is not bad. Oh, excuse me. Oh God. Actually, we mentioned the singer Lizzo the other day. Holy moly! Now I had forgotten there's such a thing as the Video Music Awards (VMAs), which I guess is an MTV thing, right? Probably. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, they had apparently I didn't look at it or see it, but I did see some coverage this morning on the news. And our little friend Lizzo, who showed up as an unknown anybody at our radio station a few years ago, and then has out of nowhere exploded in so many different ways. She showed up. She usually shows up with the whole band entourage. Apparently, is her latest thing. And the news people made a point of saying that she went up there by herself last night to speak all by herself to say, we need to come together. We need to start voting to get these people out of to get rid of Republicans or something. But she looked like she weighed 600 pounds. I mean, oh my God. And she had a costume that looked like she was wearing a battleship outfit or something. It had things sticking, like the old Madonna bra.
It was a USS
Remember
Missouri she was wearing.
like a battleship turrets or something. I don't know. Anyway, God bless her. I mean, she's a millionaire, and I'm not.
She's so oppressed.
Yeah, she's so
This
oppressed.
country has
Came
been
out
so
of-
bad for
yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, also I tried to go. I saw something explode on my phone about Britney Spears. Apparently, she came out with a 20-minute rant about how her parents never supported her and da-da-da. Her mother was fighting back, and I saw the headline, so I wonder what this is all about. I honestly couldn't read it. I read the first I got to that, and I thought, there was a point at which Britney Spears really was a go-to personality, and just
She
because
peaked
she was
at Toxic.
Yeah.
That video now it's a great song, Toxic, and the video that was the peak.
Yeah. And I thought, what is this? What now? I said, who really cares about? And it's all over people, and it's all over social media. And then her mother had to respond, and I thought, oh God, I'm just so tired.
You got to
of
wonder,
this.
is she all mentally there?
No.
She's been through a.
I think she's still got some. I think she ought to be able to take care of herself, and she's got married and having a baby again or whatever. So, but I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was yuck.
She turned down Oprah. Oprah wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she said no. Good.
Yeah. Well, good for her. I think she's turned her back on the people who, including her sister, I guess. I don't know. I can't be bothered. I can't keep track of it. What's this about a royal hoax?
A royal hoax.
A royal hoax.
I'm glad you asked, Kimmer, about the royal hoax.
Yes.
It involves Prince Harry.
What now?
Oh yeah, Prince Harry. He's the one married to the what
Yeah.
whore. No, I didn't.
Well, no,
say
she
that.
just chopped off his testicles. That's all his problem.
All right, this is for Fox News. Prince Harry.
Yeah.
He's Mr. Climate Change.
God, yeah.
Oh God, we're all going to die.
Yeah.
Prince Harry arrived in an electric car to board a private jet to go to a one-day polo match. But climate change is real.
Yeah, climate change. And also, what is this? Flounder just handed us this.
I went to the store yesterday, and it's like a
Peanut butter cup?
Yeah, it's like a Reese's Pieces, but
What is fake peanut butter?
I don't know. No, it's peanut butter and real chocolate. But
Well, it says Unreal. The name of it is Unreal.
Now, in the past, I've tried these, and they haven't been very good.
But that would indicate that it's fake, right? That it's not.
Oh, it's all chocolate. It's
Wait a
not
minute.
The outside wrapper.
Well, there's some writing on the small print here, and it says, nothing artificial, certified gluten-free, non-GMO, project verified, certified vegan, contains peanuts made in a facility that handles milk, tree nuts, wheat, eggs, and soy.
Not
Made
bad.
in the USA
It's not a Reese's.
no,
for-
it's not Reese's at all.
but it's
made in
not
the
bad.
USA for Unreal Brands, Boston, Mass. Trade certified ingredients. Please visit our website. Simple ingredients: 5 grams of sugar, and that's it. Now, so it's not a peanut butter cup. It looks like a peanut butter cup on the printing.
It's their version. Like Trader Joe's has a version of this.
Okay.
It's not Reese's, though.
no.
Oh, it's different. It's different. It looks like it's in its own.
It's a little
container.
more bland than a Reese's,
Did you
but it's
see
good.
what the Canadians and socialists are trying to pull? Here in America, for the most part, you get the double Reese's pack, right?
Right.
That's right. And it's
Yeah.
a certain price. And the socialists, up here in Socialist Canada, we call it Reese, not Reese's. And there's 3 in the package, and it costs less. So you're getting screwed in your free enterprise capitalism down there in America. Then someone said, oh, really? Check this out. The 5-pack of Reese's here in America is cheaper than the 3-pack up there in Canada.
I love it.
What do you think?
Not bad. Good. They're good.
As candy goes, it's not bad. By the way, I'm seeing a
I'd
lot
eat
of
it.
Halloween candies already out there. They talk about a shortage, but I'm seeing it everywhere.
I was at which I forgot in my weekend summer. I went to Lowe's and got some plants, and there's already Halloween shit everywhere.
Oh, I know. Oh, speaking of, let me finish this.
You can chew.
Wait a minute. Speaking of plants,
I'm getting.
Is it
we have
getting
to be
better?
very careful, but it's better.
here's the thing about plants. Ashley pointed this out. Plants in the wild.
My
okay?
Ashley?
No.
No.
Plants in the wild. Taking whatever Mother Nature throws at us and thriving. Plants you buy for your house. You watered me on Sunday versus Saturday, so now I must die.
In New York State, if you want to buy a canister of whipped cream, you have to be 21 years old and prove it. They're into the whip it scare again. They passed the law last year, and it's going to be enforced in September. The teenagers are getting high by inhaling nitrous oxide used as
We
a
did that.
propellant in the canisters.
We did that.
Oh man, if you
I've
go-
never done it. I mean,
you
I've had laughing
Did it in the
gas. We've
stores.
all-
We did it in the store.
Oh, really?
Pick it up, do it, and put it back.
If you go to like Fish or Widespread Panic concerts, they have the tanks out in the
Before you go.
in balloons, and I mean, a funny
Well, if
story.
I go to the dentist, I always say, "Yeah, I'll take the gas, absolutely, whether I need it or not. It's just fun, you know." But it makes me want to tinkle. When I get, if they don't have a
Yeah,
bathroom,
you're so
I don't.
relaxed,
Yeah, I got to.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes me
I
want to
agree.
tinkle before I get in the car and drive all the way up to wherever I'm going.
yeah, you're right.
Anyway, I thought that was pretty funny that they had to pass a law. They're going to. It can be a $500 fine.
It was a big deal here in the late 70s, early 80s. It was a big deal about kids like us.
Yeah,
doing
because
it.
in high school we did the
Yeah.
same thing. We would go to because you could go to the head shops and you could get like the 20 packs of the canisters.
Yeah, we just went to Kroger.
I remember the story with some kids from, it was either Westminster or Lubbock, if I remember correctly, had one of their fathers, I think, was a dentist, and they somehow got a hold of his canister of laughing gas, and all got high and climbed into his Mercedes, and like the three of them died in a car wreck or something from getting high on the gas stuff. And I thought, I didn't know you could get that high. I guess you can. It reminds me, in my first year of college, one of the guys in our dorm room came in with a paper bag that he had poured glue into, airplane glue,
Yeah.
squeezed a tube of airplane glue, and he was inhaling it.
That's not good.
Oh my! And I mean, it scared the crap out of me watching him because it looked like, he looked like a zombie. And I remember he took was it a protractor that you stick in the center and you run in circles for geometry class or whatever.
Yeah.
And he stuck the point in his hand and couldn't feel it. He said, I can't even feel anything. And it's saying sticking in his hand, like, I thought, oh my God! But I never did. I never did anything
Yeah,
when
glue
I was in
scared
school.
me. Glue scared me. I didn't do that.
I've never even. I still to this day have never even seen LSD, and that was being big when I was younger. Oh, have you ever done that?
I'll admit
Did
right
you
now,
do it
I have
too?
the only thing I had going for me was I had kind of a brain.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm not going to, that's the only thing I get.
No.
And I had a good friend in high school that I grew up with, grade school, high school, who did it a lot, and it changed him.
It'll mess you up.
It
Art
changed
Linkletter's
him.
daughter jumped off a building
I know.
because she could fly. You
And
know?
I watched
I love
it
you.
and I
Call
go,
home. You know.
I don't want to risk that.
No.
I don't. I've never tripped on
That
LSD.
scared the crap out of me. And I never even saw. Well,
And now it's mild, and they can control it and everything like that. So maybe when I'm older, I'll do
well,
it,
the
but
Timothy Leary, LSD experiment
that
guy
was-
back, that was huge.
Hunter S. Thompson
Yeah.
talking about that
Yeah.
stuff, yeah.
And speaking of police, I mentioned. Well, I guess I didn't mention the police here at all, but I'm going to in a moment.
Don't ask me
We're
about
talking
cocaine, though.
about the liberal woke people. In Denver, Colorado, I just came back from there. The high school in Denver, Colorado has shown the students a video telling them that if they see a violently racist or homophobic incident, do not call the police. Do not call the police. Tips for responding to racist attacks. Given the current political environment, white supremacists and white nationalists have been emboldened, and as a result, public attacks are on the rise. Because police have been trained to see people of color, gender nonconforming folks, and Muslims as criminals, they often treat victims as criminals. So if the victim hasn't asked you to call the police, do not, I repeat, do not call the police.
Good.
Holy Jesus.
That's what I call a win-win right there.
It's a high school, Denver South High School. Well, the police are, they're white supremacists, so they're going to just attack the victims
White
too. Oh my God. I mean, this is, and by the way, the high school got caught, and they're saying, oh, well, this video was to provide empowerment for people who may witness types of attacks, not to disrespect law enforcement. A spokesman said the video was selected for its title and wasn't fully vetted. So people should contact the police if they witness a violent incident, So, but I mean, this is unbelievable. This is Denver, Colorado. In fact, the Secretary of State in Denver, Colorado was saw it on Fox, being the girl being interviewed, and she said, if the Republicans take control of the Congress, we are 3 months away from losing our democracy.
Good, because we don't have a democracy, you f***ing moron.
I mean, that's what the Secretary of State of
scaring the hell out
Colorado
of
was saying.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because this gentleman, his
Jesus.
wife, he goes, Larry says, hey, after 22 years of doing it the legal way, my wife was finally sworn in as an American citizen today. Right after the ceremony, they hand out voter registration forms, and you get registered right there. The woman who processed the form told her and everybody else there, you should vote for Stacey Abrams.
Holy smokes.
Yeah,
Who said...
Is she a government employee telling people how to vote?
Talk about not giving water in line, my God. Jesus, that's freaking brutal.
They're panicking. And
Well, good.
They're going to do all kinds of stuff.
Well, they're asking. Well, they honestly, I'm done taking it in the neck, man. I absolutely am. One more kind of a weird thing about cops. And oh, by the way, do you have any reaction to Tom Brady?
Something's going on.
I wonder.
Family-wise, something's going on.
You
There's
think they're
trouble in
splitting
paradise.
up, or kids?
I think
or
she's. I don't know.
give an
but
ultimatum?
I wouldn't be surprised if she's mad at him for what he did, for quitting and then coming back. She probably made plans. She probably decided we're finally going to have him back as a father, and he chose football over family.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
sure
that's
he loves
what
his
happened.
family. I got a feeling that Tom Brady has nothing planned after football. That football is his life.
Yeah.
And that he sat there and thought for a month, what am I doing? What am I going to do? And decided, I'm not ready just to sit around,
Well,
and went back to football. His hair's, he's lost weight. He looks gaunt.
I think
Gronk isn't there. His security blanket's not longer there.
she. If I had to guess, and I don't, I'm a two-time loser, so I don't know about marriage. But my guess is, being a former married man, that it's a wife thing. I don't think in any way she wanted him to go back to after. I mean,
He says, I'm 45 years old. I got a lot of shit going on.
No, you
At
don't.
45, you should.
well, he's got his nutrition. He's got his health company.
Okay, but he's a
that's not the way.
multi-millionaire,
Yeah.
adored by millions. You got this great family that is what we've all
Right.
seen. What shit have you got going
I
on,
know.
dude?
Yeah, that's nonsense.
It's not like you got everyday pressures that everybody else has to deal with.
In fact, I would submit that Tom Brady probably has a few less really life and death worrisome issues than most of us do.
Right.
So, unless he's got cancer or something.
Well, yeah, if
maybe
there's
he's
an
got
illness in the
leukemia.
family, then that's totally,
Yeah.
that changes everything.
Or somebody's wife or kid or
But
whatever.
would he still be playing if someone's really sick?
No.
I just
so
think
again, I don't.
he looked in that existential mirror and all he saw was a void.
Yeah.
And he's going, what?
And he's not going to be a coach.
What
and he's
am
not
I
gonna
without
be
football?
I don't
No.
see him sitting in the booth
No.
doing color commentary.
Every once in a while,
So-
like Michael Jordan, who sat
Yeah.
around for a while and then said, okay, I want to own a team or I want to coach. And then he quickly got out of that.
I don't see
Magic Johnson type.
that. Yeah,
But
I don't see him doing the Peyton and Eli Manning thing on Monday Night Football.
He
Although
doesn't-
that might be fun if he shows up every 3 months or something or whatever. But
Yeah.
he's not going to be a commentator or a coach. Anyway, I thought this was fairly amusing. You can look at the video too in Alabama. A Madison County deputy
videos now.
named Casey Thrower was out serving civil documents early in the morning, and he says frequently he has so many he has so many number of homes that he has to visit to give affidavits or documents or get out orders or whatever it is. There are so many that he visits daily. On occasions, he leaves the vehicle door open because he's afraid of having to run from all the dogs at these people's houses when they sick their dogs on him. So he leaves his police car door open, and so in case he has to race into the car and get out of the way of the dogs. Well, the other day, he had left his car door open, was serving documents, and he came back to find goats on top of his car and inside his car, and one of the goats was eating his paperwork, which is what goats do. They eat paper. And the goat, just like the commercial, you've seen the commercial of the goat eating, that's what he was doing. And so the cop starts yelling, "Get out of here, you kidding me? Get out of here, get out of here, there's nothing eating here, don't eat that, oh my God, don't eat that, get out, get out." He's just screaming and yelling, and freaking goats all over his cars and apparently eating his paperwork. So the chief said, while working patrol division, nothing is considered routine. Deputy Thrower's been serving the citizens of Madison County for 40 years and is considered one of our GOAT deputies, GOAT, greatest of all time. So
One of the great memes of all time is basically the guy going, people say they got their ducks in a row. I don't even know where my ducks are right now. And then it shows a squad car with a cop in front and in the back seat are two ducks looking around. It says, my ducks right now.
speaking of animal stories, something about a bear?
Well, this is amazing. A man in Alaska survived a Kodiak bear attack, and he just had a .22 pistol, which is, I mean, that could hardly kill
No,
you.
Yeah, you better hit him in the eyeball with it.
Yeah.
What happened?
Unfortunately, the friend that he shot in the knee was not as lucky.
Oh, so he got away, though. He just have to outrun you. I don't know. That's very clever. I hold everything. We have actual information and stories and the Trump team and stuff like that and Gwinnett County schools and all kinds of good stuff. But first, a reminder. If you're looking for ammo you can't find someplace, Dead Crow Defense to the rescue. Dead Crow Defense is killing the competition with the best ammo prices since before the China kill virus pandemic started. In fact, they've got all the common calibers. If you're looking for even 9mm, I can't find it. Oh, yes, you can. They've got the caliber you're looking for. And if it's really rare and very unusual and they have to order it, they'll get it for you. Custom orders, no problem, because Dead Crow Defense is not a gun store. They're your gun dealer. They're your personal arms dealer, working directly with you. And if you're looking for a 45 or 308 or 762 or, I mean, whatever you're looking for, 222, they can get it for you. And if it's in stock, they'll ship it the next day. And it's not just ammo and weapons. It's also self-defense gear, clothing, things of various kinds. Really go on the web. Check them out at deadcrowdefense.com. And if you know there's something that you're looking for in particular and you want to give them a call, here's a phone number. They love to answer the phone and talk to you directly because they're your gun dealer. In-stock items the next day. Here's the number, 678-576-9117. Or shoot them an email at sales@deadcrowdefense.com to have your personal arms dealer reach out directly to you. Online, use the promo code KIMMER when you check out, KIMMER, at checkout for 10% off your first several orders at deadcrowdefense.com. What are you doing over there?
Do a K. I don't know. Do a K.
You're trying to do the shocker.
Well, you know what? This is deadcrowdefense.com, your personal arms dealer, and our great appreciation. They took care of Flounder just the other day. Deadcrowdefense.com. Speaking of being able to defend yourself, this is an incredible story. Well, again, I don't do a lot of crime things here, but the local Al Jazeera Constitutions, the whole middle section is just crime, and the crime people are getting younger and younger, victims and the shooters.
Oh, hell, I tried to watch Fox 5 and 11 Alive last night.
I can't.
The
I can't
first
watch local
15
news.
minutes is boom, boom, boom,
And it's
boom,
all,
boom.
14-year-old unidentified man. She's got to be kidding me.
Child shot at park.
Jeez, a 7-year-old fatally shot at a family gathering. They got some family members had a party. They got mad, started shooting. 7-year-old girl's dead. I mean, at a family gathering, school kids. Oh my God, Gwinnett County. And by the way, these were all Democrats. All these shootings, I guarantee you, are among Democrats. These are not Trump supporters. The Democrats in Gwinnett County, that's all Democrat now. Democrat school district in Gwinnett County, all the Democrats in Gwinnett County schools, all the children are all Democrats. I'll bet you not 7 out of the 50 million would vote for Trump if they were 18. Well, Gwinnett County has sent more students to alternative schools. In other words, they have kicked out more students in Gwinnett County than have been kicked out in Atlanta, Clayton, Cobb, DeKalb, and Fulton combined.
But is that some of that the fact that they still might actually give a shit in Gwinnett, or they've just given up in those other places?
They aren't taking any. Who knows? But somebody said, "No, wait a minute. All of those combined are not as high as Gwinnett."
Maybe they still have like standards.
Well, they're trying to. They want to investigate. It's so preposterous. It doesn't seem believable. I can't believe that we are the extreme outliers.
It's got to be racist.
Gwinnett, these are Democrats. Well,
Don't send your kids to public
that's
schools.
right. Although if
you can't afford it, don't have a kid.
Well, all right, so you're a 37-year-old mother.
You're a 37-year-old.
Don't say it, you bastard. And you have a job, even a part-time job, working in an office or whatever. You're making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, and your husband's working. Maybe he's making $30,000 or $40,000 a year, and all of a sudden you're saying, "Well, one of us is going to have to stop working and stay home and teach the kids." How do you do that?
There's other schools.
Well, until they start giving you the money that your kid deserves to be able to be educated, vouchers.
Yeah.
Until they do that, I can see where your wife's not going to say, "I can't quit my job and stay home to teach geography." My God. So I mean, there have to be steps taken, but you're right. I mean, get them out of those federal tax schools. And speaking of federal taxes, what's this about Janet Yellen? Wanted to be on Better Call Saul? That can't be right.
Keeping pressure on the wound in her side as she trudged beneath the scorching noonday sun, a bloody Janet Yellen was reportedly spotted dragging U.S. Treasury funds through Arizona's Yuma Desert on Friday after a tense money supply handoff with the International Monetary Fund went south. Should have known those trigger-happy IMF boys would try and pull a fast one. They got me good, all right, but I gave the bastards back worse, said the Treasury Secretary, who grimaced as she pulled a duffel bag containing trillions of dollars in unmarked bills through the endless sand, briefly stopping to fashion her suit jacket into a makeshift head wrap to stave off heat stroke. Let's see. Beretta's only got 2 bullets left. Damn canteens run dry too. Bleeding staunched at least. Every international finance soldado from here to Timbuktu is looking for this bag right now, and I don't stand to put up much of a fight if they catch me. Nothing for it but to stash the goods, find a dock to pull the lead out of my belly, and lay low in Washington for a spell until I can come back to reclaim what's rightfully mine. Emphasizing that if she died, the secret of the money supply's location would die with her, Yellen was last seen urging Congress to approve her request for extra ammunition after spying a cloud of dust on the horizon from approaching World Bank sicarios.
Those
Better Call Saul.
You didn't have to look for water in the wrong places.
That was the Onion. That's
that was the Onion. I haven't checked in on the Onion in a long time.
They're so liberal, but every now and then they do something.
Well,
funny.
if they're clever, I don't care. I used to love really clever liberal writers.
They said that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving of the Nets have buried the hatchet, and they've agreed. They've agreed to play with each other as long as neither of them is in the same room at the same time.
At the same time. Well, that makes much more sense. Speaking of celebrities, a car that Princess Diana used to drive around in the 1980s just sold at auction for $750,000, marking the 25th anniversary of her death, coming up here in a couple of days. $750,000.
Hey, who died?
No, that's what you said walking into the bar.
The Hub Bar in Boston.
Yeah.
We've been out drinking. Me and Jack Kennedy. It was like 3 a.m. We come in there, and everybody's
crying
quiet.
and
Everybody's
sad.
quiet. They're crying and everything. And we're like, "Hey, who died?" And this girl waitress turns and goes, "Princess Diana."
I remember.
And we stood there a second. Either me or Jack said, "Can we get a beer?"
I guarantee it was Jack. You may have said it too, but I guarantee you. And I still, God bless, when I think of Jack Kennedy, I still think of the one thing of my regret of all time in my life about something that Jack Kennedy was able to accomplish and I was never able, but not even thought about it. Never even thought I would.
You and somebody else.
Yeah, I wouldn't be alone there. Oh my God. Anyway, sorry, I can't tell you what it is.
It so shocked somebody else we knew that when we were at Manuel's and he told him, he just looked at Jack and then started beating his head on the bar.
I would have just gone ahead and pulled out an eye. Oh, God. I remember when you told me, I said, what? He got, who? He went, oh, my God. Anyway, God bless him. What a What a character.
He was.
What a...
Especially just hanging around him just to get the cast-offs.
Yeah, he was Jack Kennedy was a sports guy and a radio guy, and I'm not even sure where he worked at the Furniture Mart was what he
downtown.
did. I mean, he sold furniture to companies and wholesale
Haverty's
stuff
and
and
everything.
Haverty's furniture. But he was. Did he just start calling in on sports show? I mean, how did he even get started? I don't even remember. He was very famous in particularly 80s,
He did
70s,
Creative
80s,
Loafing.
90s.
He did a sports column for Creative Loafing. I don't know how he talked. He was from New York. He could talk his way into anything.
Yeah, he
And
was a hustler, a sales. He was a sales guy.
And he talked his way into Creative Loafing. He talked his way into WGST.
And he was on the air all the time doing sports stuff, and he worked with the Braves.
He knew
and
his
he was
stuff,
Tommy
too.
Glavin's one of the Tommy
Oh,
Glavin's
him and
best
Tom
friends.
Tom Glavin.
And I mean, I guess Smoltzy.
I
and,
went over to Glavin's house a couple times
yeah.
because of him. It was.
Yeah.
He don't remember.
I don't know how that ever happened, but he was what a character.
He was a
Anyway,
character.
he was something else. Speaking of entertainment, apparently they're going to re-release the original Jaws in 3D.
Why?
I don't know. There wasn't that much of it in the ending, I guess, and a couple of times.
Well, there's
there
one
was
where there's scuba divers under the boat, and there's a hole in the boat, and all of a sudden the head rolls
more
up.
eel. I hate those shots.
No, it was a real head. It was a head that
Oh, the
rolled.
human, yeah. With the wormholes coming out of it. Blah. Anyway. Sorry, that was bad. A federal judge in Florida may be appointing a special master. Again, it's hard to keep up on minute-by-minute news, but this business is still about the downfall of America with the FBI and the Department of Justice.
Well, speaking of which, you may get to this on people either born or died on this day. Richard Jewell. And it reminded me how the FBI railroaded that poor guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now, did he ever get cleared before? He was worried about his mother. What is it? I remember his poor mother.
Yeah.
And they screwed that, and the media, and he won some money on that too. But didn't he win?
Yeah.
And I think he got cleared before he died.
They convicted him before,
But
but
he
he got out.
I think he got cleared before.
some
I'm
money.
trying to remember.
But you can't tell me it didn't end his life prematurely.
Oh, absolutely.
He died at 44.
Yeah, that's just.
And he saved people's lives,
Yeah.
and the FBI turned on him because it was easy.
Found the backpack.
It was easy.
Yeah.
They took the easy way. Instead of going after Eric Robert Rudolph.
Unbelievable.
You know, I told you this before. Someone sent me a GST. I was doing that nighttime talk show at the time. Someone sent me a letter saying that they had done it. And we called the FBI, and two FBI agents came in there in the studio and talked to me about it, and I gave them the note. Never heard anything else from it.
Huh.
I don't know if that was from Rudolph or what. And I wonder now if they didn't care because, we got our man.
We
It's
got him
Richard
already.
Jewell.
Yeah, that was I it's
Laziness.
been so that was really, and the media said, well, we were just doing what they we didn't do it. We
Just
just
playing around
reporting,
with the government.
just because it was easy, just like printing press releases.
And he didn't fit the form of a hero. He
was
didn't
an
look
old boy.
like a
He
hero.
was an old Southern boy.
He was a
He
white
was
Southern
just
boy.
he was a good old boy, and just an old decent guy.
Mama's boy.
And he's not a
bullied
rip roaring, strong jawed, kick ass, macho soldier kind of guy. Just a real decent fellow, and did the right thing and got screwed for it. Coming up, a couple of bizarre Beatles things. Do you want to play that? Flounder sent us a comedian who did a bit about getting a black haircut. You want to play that a little later in a minute, just for fun? Because we'll do a fun stuff. Hold on, I want to first of all remind you, I'm kind of behind in my plugs here. And again, we really appreciate our sponsors. thekimmershow.net is how you get a hold of us any way you want to. We'd love to get a hold of you and appreciate that very much.
When you do our sponsors, tell them where you heard it.
Yeah, please, or even if you're thinking about it, like M&S Title Pawn, M&S Title Pawn. If you're saying to yourself, geez, in fact, I bought something for my daughter once, years and years and years ago, by going to Title Pawn, and it was great. It was a great experience and everything else. You'd be surprised. Now, if you got things you want to sell, I mean, you know what they do at the M&S Title Pawns. They take care of you, whatever you're looking for. What they have something there, what you have something there, whatever it is, they'll work it out with you. M&S, I say it because the letters are M and S. Title Pawn. It sounds like I'm saying M&S, which is not one particular word until you go on the internet. Here we go. M&S Title Pawn in beautiful Bremen, 306 Laurel Street, Suite A. M&S Title Pawn, open Monday through Saturday. Love to see you in person. If you want to give them a call, see what's going on or how they can help you, here's the phone number, area 678-821-3337. And if you want to look them up on the web, this is when you spell out M&S Title, and it spells like this, MANDS Title.com, manstitle.com, okay? Manstitle.com, M&S Title Pawn in Bremen. And again, thank you for being a part of our Kimmer Show podcast. Okie dokie. Do you want to play that comedian guy?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. His name is Zach something or other. I've never heard of him. You ever heard this guy?
I was scrolling through Instagram, and he just came across my feed, and I found it pretty.
I used to have the comedy channels on Sirius XM, but I canceled it because they started getting expensive, and I dropped all that crap. They would have comedians, and I'd hear the kind of the same ones over and over. And this guy I've never heard of, but he was pretty clever. Here's Zach somebody.
When I'm here, I'm always tempted to get a haircut. It's a very cool city. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'll get a cool haircut in a cool city, you know? And I went by Bishop's, right? I saw some signs on the windows. It was like LGBTQA owned, and I was like, tight. Female owned, tight. They have a Black Lives Matter sign, tight, right? I walk in, I'm sitting, and then a black person walked in, and they're like, hey, I just want to know, can you guys cut black people's hair? And they were like, no. Welcome to Portland, you know what I mean? They're like, your lives matter, but we don't cut the hair. We don't know. It's wild that you can be a professional barber and there's just a whole race that you're like, nah, I can't do it.
Anyway, Zach.
But it's
something
different.
like that. Yeah.
It's different. I mean,
Yeah.
different way of cutting hair.
Well, that's true. Plus, but you know, I don't know why I just thought of this. I haven't seen a black guy walking around with a pick in years.
Afros aren't really in right now, I don't think, are they?
I don't know.
Well, they are in some L.A. I think in L.A. it is, but you don't see it around Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's very close crop now, with shaved different ways and everything. Most black men have their hair really short these days that I've seen here in Atlanta.
Yeah. The best looking guys who shave their heads are black guys. Black guys can get away with them. Yeah. The only black guy with a shaved head that sorry, you're not shaved anymore, Peter. So you would be Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. You know, his shaved head, he looked great in that with his little goatee. Brooksy, yeah.
I could have used Brooksy today.
Oh, why?
Because that former Bama running back plays for the Commanders got shot on a Washington, D.C. street.
What the
and he
hell?
was shot around 8th Street, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully Mike ever can
Is
tell
that
us
over by
exactly where
Washington Boulevard?
exactly where it was. Damn it.
Is that by K Avenue? Or?
Yeah, is that H? Does that intersect with J? Or
Oh, God bless. I still can't believe he and Kara are gone.
Well, Kara's not gone.
Her name just popped up again.
Two times in the last week.
Tell the story.
Snapchat has sent me a thing saying your contact, Kara Stockton, just joined Snapchat.
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, this is news to me.
Yeah, I got something on my phone about Kara. And I thought,
Facebook
wow.
did it too.
Yeah.
What is going on with that? Why would they do that? I still get Facebook still sends me things like, "Hey, you should talk to your cousin for a while." That's because she died 9 years ago.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I got to tell my cousin, her brother, to take that down. That's probably the problem.
Well, whatever.
But why is Kara suddenly jumping up here?
I don't know. I mean, I get the damnedest, your memory popped, and it's, wow. I mean, it's fine. I mean, but I was kind of surprised. And I didn't know what, and to see you got one too. This was the day in 2009 the coroner in L.A. ruled that Michael Jackson's death was a homicide. Overdose of propofol, maybe. Can't remember the name.
By the way, you want to hear the list? These are real college football players' names.
Okay, my other favorite thing is every year when in fact we'll do it coming up when they.
We usually do it during the draft.
Yeah,
when it comes time for the draft.
All right, real names.
There's a quarterback that plays for Oklahoma called General Booty.
General Booty.
General
Booty.
A running back at Auburn called Tank Bigsby. Let's see. A receiver for ULM called Boogie Knight.
Boogie Night, the
Boogie
movie.
Night.
Oh, my God.
A receiver at Buffalo called Booby Curry. This guy from Nebraska's receiver, his name is the Coldest Crawford, and he has an NIL deal with an air condining
The
place.
coldest.
The
I'm
coldest.
the coldest one in the team. Oh, my God.
Tight end for Wake Forest named Jaeger Bull. A lineman for Georgia Tech called Wing Green. And here's one you'll get. Nevada, Las Vegas lineman Tiger Shanks.
Tiger Shanks.
Tiger
He
Shanks.
doesn't.
A lineman for Charlotte, Panda Askew. Here's one for Boston. Oh, he's a D lineman, Shitta-Silla. Shitta.
He changed his name from Robert Shitta-Silla to Bobby Shitta-Silla.
Ole Miss has a lineman called Demon Clowney. That's kind of frightening. Arizona State
Yes,
has a lineman called Blazin' Lono Wong.
Blazing Wong.
Lono Wong. Wyoming has a linebacker called Buck Coors.
Buck Coors.
Is there any more Wyoming name than
Yeah,
Buck
geez.
Coors? South Carolina has a linebacker called Hot Rod Fitton. Arkansas, this guy's been around a while. He's a linebacker, Bumper Pool.
I'll be damned.
His name's Bumper Pool.
I love
North Carolina has Storm Duck. Alabama has Kool-Aid McKinstry. Arizona, this sounds like a made-up Key and Peele name. Ephesians Prysock.
Ephesian?
Ephesians
Oh, how did he get
Prysock.
his parents back for that
And
one?
this one, you got to be a certain age to get this one. Defensive back for LSU, Major Burns.
Major Burns. They're talking about anatomy, sir. Hey, hot lips. In fact, Elliot Gould's in the news on the birthday
Oh, he's
list.
still
and
alive.
Elliot Gould is 84.
Damn.
He was, I think he finally got rid of Barbra Streisand, if I'm not
decades
mistaken,
ago.
years and years ago. And Elliot Gould's 84, and he was the original Trapper John in the TV series, or was it the movie?
He was Hawkeye, wasn't he? Or was he
Oh,
Trapper
crap.
John?
No, I think he was Trapper John. Hawkeye was
Who played Hawkeye?
was the suave guy who was in same time
Yeah, but-
next year. They did the
Alan Alda. Not in the movie. Alan Alda wasn't in the movie. Robert Altman did it. You had
Oh no, no! All right, no, wait a minute.
Sally, what's her face, was Hot Lips.
Yeah,
Elliot
Kellerman.
Gould could have been.
He was Trapper John, I think.
Wasn't the guy who later he played in several different roles? He was on Picket Fences. I forget his name.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
a character actor.
yeah.
He played.
He played the main character.
He played Hawkeye.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you're probably right.
yeah.
I forget his name.
That's right. It was. We could have looked it up, but
Staff.
staff. Damn it. That Flounders got shit to do.
Who played Hawkeye in the movie MASH?
The movie MASH and also the TV show MASH.
I can't remember his name. He's a
You want
character.
the,
actor. He's a-
the roles of
Tom Skillet.
Skillet. That's what it was.
Tom
Played the sheriff or
Skellard
the cop.
or something.
Scarrett.
Tom Skerritt.
Scarrett.
Tom
Scarrett. All right, Flounders now looking up the cast in.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom Skerritt. Yeah. Picket Fences. My mom loved that show.
Yeah. No, still can't get it?
No, just yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Tom. And the guy who
Second.
played Frank Burns, was that Duvall?
No. Oh, no, in the movie, yes.
Yeah.
In the movie, it was
Robert
Duvall. He went
Duvall.
nuts and they carted him off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was the other famous comedian guy who played it in the TV
And
series.
the only person that was in the movie and the TV show was Radar.
Radar. Yeah. Oh, no, I beg your pardon.
He was also in Top Gun. He was the
Yeah, he was the guy,
He was
the teacher in Top
yeah,
Gun.
he was,
Tom
the,
Skerritt.
he was the instructor.
Good actor.
Tom
Did you come
Skerritt.
up- Okay, did you come up with Elliot Gould, Hawk, who played Trapper John?
Trapper John.
Who played Trapper John and Hawkeye in the TV series?
What was Alan Alda and Wayne? What's his face? who
Wayne, yeah,
became a
but there were two
business
different
guy,
ones.
and
Yeah.
he died. Well, no, there were two different. It was a different character.
Yeah.
BJ came in.
that's
BJ
right,
Honeycutt.
BJ Honeycutt,
That
yeah.
I
From
hate
Boston,
Mike
that
Farrell.
guy?
No, there's three actors. Mike Farrell, who was
Yeah, he
just a
played-
horrible actor.
Yeah, he played Beach. He played. Yeah, he's a smarmy.
And
guy.
then they brought David Ogden Steers, who's
Yeah,
also
he's the Boston,
dead,
played the guy from Boston,
who replaced Frank.
Right.
Yeah.
Frank Burns. Yeah. Anyway, we're dragging an awful lot of time on this.
Well, people like to talk
I know,
about the
well,
trivia
okay,
crap.
Elliot Gould, I believe, in the
I don't see anything.
movie played Trapper John?
You sure? I think he played Hawkeye because he was more of a star.
Well,
Hawkeye
anyway.
was Donald Sutherland.
That's right.
Oh, right.
That's right.
Your buddy,
That's
Donald
right.
Sutherland.
Donald Hayden.
Elliot
That's
Gould
right.
was,
Trapper John.
yes. that's
So
correct.
Tom Skerritt was just another friend of theirs that really wasn't big in the TV show. They didn't
Right.
bring that character
No,
over, I
right.
guess.
They did
Tom
not.
Skerritt was Duke Forrest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
we
did.
don't know him. Anyway,
Who was
thank you,
Bear
sir.
Chucker?
Oh, that
Remember
was the
that?
black guy? Yeah.
And that was
Spear
an actual
Jones.
character. So
Spear Chucker Jones.
Don't add us. Yeah.
And I saw him because they talked
football.
about, played football in college for Nebraska or someplace, or I forgot what this college was. Rebecca De Mornay is, she never did anything for
She
me.
did for me.
She's 63 today. Of course, the Tom Cousins there. What's his name? Tom Cruise.
Cousins.
Tom Cruise movie of.
Oh, Risky Business.
Risky Business.
Which I have never seen that either.
You've never seen it. It's worth saying. You should see it. It's cute.
It's funny. I've not seen Top Gun. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen most of the Mission Impossible. I've seen Losing It. Did you ever see Losing It?
Never saw that.
It was right before Risky Business or right after. It's about him and Jackie Earl Haley being LA teenagers, and they steal a car and they drive to Tijuana to go down to lose their virginity. And what's her face? Diana from Cheers. What actress was her? No.
No.
It was actress.
Yeah.
But anyway, she goes down there with them. And there's a scene where there's a piano player in the bar in Tijuana, and he's singing the raunchiest songs. Do you
Really?
want to bring your mama to the gangbang? It was just funnier than hell. But it
I'll
was a
be
great
damned.
little movie.
I can't. Shelley Long.
Shelley Long,
Yeah.
Losing It.
Yeah. William Friedkin, who directed The French Connection and The Exorcist, is 87. Betty Lynn, who was Thelma Lou, died several months ago. She would have been 96 today at the Andy Griffith Show. Neil Gorsuch, Supreme Court Justice, 55. On the baseball beat, Noah Syndergaard is 30. Is he back yet?
Yeah,
as
he's
a Mets?
pitching for the Angels, unless they traded him.
They traded him?
Unless they traded him.
Anyway, I got a couple other baseball things here of note, and then a couple of musical things. Hank Aaron, on this day in 1971, right before I got here to Atlanta in 72, Hank Aaron became the first National League player ever to hit at least 100 RBIs in all 11 seasons in a row.
Yeah.
First one in the National League. And in 1977, 6 years later to the day, Lou Brock stole base number 893. Wow, that's a lot of... Holy cow.
I know.
The record he beat was held for 49 years by
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb. You are correct, sir. All right, hold on. We got more. I'm going to use the word filibuster in a sentence.
Oh,
And
wait
the
a minute
Beatles,
here.
But
that Ty Cobb moment brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
You beat me to the thing.
If you have a Ty Cobb photo, you can send it to them and they'll put it on your
They'll
T-shirt
put it
for
right
you.
there on anywhere you
They
want.
print shirts, hats, signs, and promotional items. They got laser engraving now, and you can order 1, 500, 1,000,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. No minimum order, no setup fees, and cap signs, tumblers, whatever
In
you
fact,
want.
I'm ordering. I'm going to be calling Eric. I'm ordering a couple things for Jennifer and something for my son-in-law, for Sarah's husband, to thank him for our golf outing we had the other day. And I'm going to do a phony picture we had and put it on a golf mug or something, or a golf hat
Aw.
or whatever, and send it.
Now
to him.
she
So I'll
spoiled
be
their
using
Christmas presents. You've told
well,
what they're
he
gonna
doesn't
do.
listen. They won't listen. They don't listen to this.
But,
Jennifer might. But.
They have Kimmer Show T-shirts, Holy Crap and Sports T-shirts, Shannon Burke T-shirt, whatever you need.
Yeah.
They've got it right there at FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
Excellent.
We can do 2 in a row if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm a little cowabunga here. This was in 2005, Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, worst storm ever in American history to that point, and still may be the worst one ever, if I'm not mistaken. I think
It beat out Andrew,
Katrina
I
beat
think.
out Andrew, I believe. And then what was the one that went up the East Coast? Sandy?
That was Sandy Hook. There was the school, the shooting. And then I forget what the name of the hurricane was that hit up there.
It may well have still been, and that's what I was going through my final divorce. I remember that. And got attacked double. Well, let's see, 1886, in New York City, the chef to the Chinese ambassador in 1886 was cooking for friends at the Chinese ambassador's place.
Ting Wong.
His name was Li Hung Chang, and he invented chop suey.
What is chop suey?
I love chop suey.
What is
Chop suey is beef and kind of half circle curly noodles, and tomato chopped up and cheese, and it's just kind of it's
Now
like
I'm gonna have to
goulash.
get Chinese on the way.
I think it's like goulash.
I love goulash.
I love goulash.
I love goulash.
I love goulash. And I think chop suey's same basic thing.
By the way, that hamburger helper potato stroganoff, which is goulash, basically, they're screwing with it again. They took it off for years, and they just had stroganoff.
Yeah.
No. Potato stroganoff is their best one, and for some reason, they take it away every few years.
Potato stroganoff with ground beef, you mean, as a mix?
You put your ground beef, but it's got little like scalloped potatoes in there with, and it's just
I don't
it's
think I've ever had
comfort
it.
food. My mom used to make for me.
I love it. Believe me, I could have ground beef and gravy and noodles every day. I mean,
potato. I gotta have potato.
a potato, yeah, and you put gravy on it or butter. I'm good.
When Kentucky Fried Chicken came out with the bowl of mashed potatoes, corn,
you can't beat
and
it.
chicken and gravy
Please.
every day.
Yeah, I might take the corn out, but either way, I like corn. I'll eat corn. I mean, rather have corn on the cob with a lot of butter on it and salt, and then but the gravy and chicken and fried chicken and gravy and potatoes. Oh my
You're
God!
probably one of those guys that has these little kernel corn
I have the
holders
little
that pop in the
holders.
side.
Yes, I do. I have the
You get your
holders, so
your
my
pinky
little
out.
fingers up, so I can like a son of a bitch, because I love corn on the cob. In fact, by
It gets
God,
stuck
I
in
haven't
your
had
teeth.
it. I know I haven't had it all summer since April because I couldn't eat. But I may, in
It's
fact,
good though. It's
I've
hot.
only begun to start eating. I
With
really can't
butter?
eat yet, but yeah, and a lot of salt and butter. Bing, bang, boom. We gotta have salt
Don't
on.
salt your corn.
Oh my God! How can you eat corn on the cob with no
you
salt?
dip it in butter. You don't need salt.
Yes, you do. Flounder, do you eat corn on the cob?
Yes, I put both salt and
course you
pepper
put
and
salt.
butter on it.
Oh, there you
no.
are.
Pepper.
But I put more pepper on it. Yeah, like a little
Yeah, you
seasoning.
can put paprika, you can put anything you want. Onion, salt, you can put anything you want. You don't have nonsense. Oh my God, man. No class, no soul.
We can afford salt.
In 1957, think about this and bring it back the old days. In the old days, in 1957, the way it used to be, during a filibuster like Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, the movie, on this day in 1957, Senator Strom Thurmond set the record for the longest filibuster in American congressional history, talking for 24 hours and 18 minutes without stopping. And the filibuster, I think you get tinkle minutes. And I'm not even sure about that. But if you stop talking or yield the floor, it's over.
How long can you stop talking?
I'm not. I think you set your own rules. So what it was in 1950, it didn't say in the article. I don't know. But he set the record 24 hours and 18 minutes. And I believe you get a tinkle time every so often. But if you yield the floor, people say, well, the senator yield for a question. And the key is no, because if you do, and they form it in a way that they can vote to have you removed as the filibusterer. Nowadays they don't. They just say, "I'm going to filibuster, you bastards." Okay, never mind. We don't bring it up. They just have to say, "I'm going to filibuster." They should make them stand up and talk for 24 hours. I'd watch that. Wouldn't you? How funny would that be? Anyway,
The
1957.
shit you'd be saying about 8 hours in.
Yeah, I'd be saying a lot of things that probably would not be a good idea. Let's see. Oh, hold on a second. I mentioned Ozzy Osbourne selling $18 million mansion. Coming up here, the Beatles are making news, and also a comment from Flounder's guy about the King. Coming up here in a second. First, I want to remind you that if you're driving along right now and you see a car on the road that maybe it's a few years old and you thought, man, I've always wanted one of those, maybe you can get one of those with swapmywhip.com. Then what a great idea this is. Whip is a colloquial phrase for a ride, a car. Swapmywhip.com, W-H-I-P. If you're looking for a different ride, this might be exactly what you're looking for. Go to swapmywhip.com to find like-minded car owners who are saying, you know what, I've always wanted such and such, and I've always wanted one of those. Maybe there's one sitting there right there, and the guy's saying, I've always wanted one of yours, or you got 3 guys for it, whatever. You do your own thing, cutting out the dealership, no used car salesman, no middleman. You do exactly what you want. Look it up yourself. Take care of business right there. Swapmywhip.com. It's not just cars, too. Boats, jet skis, ATVs, that kind of stuff. SwapMyWhip.com. And when you use the coupon code KIMMER, KIMMER, it's 180 days of free premium listings. Again, SwapMyWhip.com. Yaki daki. On this day in history, 1977, here's what Flounder, again, I look up history things, and Flounder sends me one to his guy, which I think is from England. Flounder's guy wrote, quote, 3 people were arrested on this day in 1977 in Memphis after trying to steal Elvis's body. As a result of that incident, the king's huge bloated corpse was moved to Graceland. He's always got to throw in a shot for huge bloated corpse. I mean, come on, man, God.
Have some respect.
A little something. By the way, in 1997, Netflix was actually founded, but it was just at the time a DVD rental service.
Yeah.
Netflix didn't start streaming for 10 more years in 2007.
I remember my friend of mine at Borders was saying, you got to try this Netflix. It's the greatest thing ever. And I go, my God, you're right. But you'd have to wait 2 or 3 days in between. And you'd have to rush to make sure you mailed it out that day, because then you'd have to wait 2 days instead of 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And it was a big deal to get it in the mail every day.
DVD rentals, rental service, 1997 on this
And
day.
we thought that was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
And now you just turn a button and there it is.
Well, remember, when they first had, what were the DVR rental places?
Blockbusters.
Blockbusters.
I worked there, yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, this is incredible. I don't have to worry about what's going to be at the movies. I can get any movie I want.
I know.
I mean, it was like, oh my God, it's the future. I can go get a movie and watch it at my leisure in my house.
Remember they always had the adult section in the back.
Yo,
that was
well,
kinda-
go to
not
the-
here. It was always had like a little.
Oh, hell, I used to work at a place where we had to do that.
People would just kind of glance. Yeah, just very.
Behind the green door, you got and they did cherry for my banana split. I don't know. I got
Santa comes twice. Yeah.
Who loves you, Daddy? I don't even know what that means. On this day in 1965, the Beatles played the Hollywood Bowl, and combined with cuts from an earlier show there, they released a live album 12 years later. But in 1965, the Beatles played the Hollywood Bowl. The tickets cost $3. Then, 1 year to the day later, 1966, it all came to an end. The Beatles played their last concert before a paying audience. On this day, 1966, it was a sold-out crowd of 25,000 at Candlestick Park in San Francisco. But John and Paul knew what the crowd did not. They knew this would be their last gig, so they brought cameras with them on stage, and between songs, they ran around taking all the pictures they wanted. Everybody's wondering, what in the heck are they doing taking all those pictures on their little Kodak Brownie cameras or whatever they were? They did not play a single song from their latest album. It was all their old hits. The last paying gig, now they did do the impromptu gig that was very famous up on the roof of the Apple building in 1969, but that was their last gig in 1967 on this day.
Think of all the... I wonder if they ever counted how many they did, because they used to do 3 shows a night in Hamburg.
Yeah.
And all the thousands of times they played together, and then they decided this is it. This is the last time we're ever going to do this.
And it was, didn't they play like 800 concerts or something ridiculous? I mean, a huge number.
I mean, for years they did in Hamburg over and over and over, in the Cavern
5
Club
a week
over and
or
over and
something.
over again.
Yeah. That was 69, the impromptu gig on the roof. But the Brits sure love their Beatles. In 2006, the public voted for the best #1 album of all time. If you take all the #1 albums that have ever been certified, it was done, I think it was the 50th anniversary of the albums being ranked or something. And so they said, what are the best #1 albums of all time? The Beatles had 4 in the top 10. They had the White Album was the number 10th best of all time. Abbey Road at 8. Revolver at 6. Yeah. And the greatest #1 album of all time, of anybody of all time, Sgt. Pepper.
Some people now, revisionists, say that Revolver is actually better than a Sgt. Pepper. And if you look at the hits that are on there, if you like the individual hits,
I don't really have, I love the Beatles because in 1964, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and everybody loved the Beatles, and our parents, oh my God, their hair's down to their collar, they need a haircut. I mean,
I have that. So I have that single. I Want to Hold Your Hand, and I saw her standing there. I have that single.
Yeah. I mean, what a consummate moment.
But Revolver was
rock and roll.
the album to where their sound really changed.
Yeah,
they
kind of
really
evolved.
became a lot more druggy, studio influential.
Well, they got into that sitar shit there at some point.
What was the
too,
first
didn't they?
one that they did solely knowing that they were not going to have to go out and tour with it, so they could play with all the crazy stuff?
Was that around the same time that Pet Sounds came out?
Pet Sounds was right before, came out in '66 or '7, I believe.
So that was
It
before
influenced-
Sgt. Pepper, because
it
that was what
influenced Sgt.
influenced
Beach Boys, yeah.
Sgt. Pepper's.
Okay, here's some trippy thoughts.
All right, sir.
There is no proof whatsoever
Yeah.
that the China virus. Anyway, there is no proof that everyone sees the same colors.
Well, how could you tell?
I know.
You can't-
We have no.
you know,
They tell us
hue-
what dogs. See. We don't know what dogs are seeing.
The hue of a color.
Hue,
H-U-E.
hue and cry. You cannot clean dust or dirt. You just move it somewhere else.
Well, unless you soak it up in a wet towel, you can move it
yeah,
into
but
the garbage. Well, still, it's dirt
Yeah,
somewhere.
but if you
When
move it
throw
into
in
the garbage can,
it's still dirt in the garbage. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, remember when and they did the Shack commercial with the kids going, "I'm not touching you. I'm not
Yeah,
touching you."
I mean-
Mom,
Mom!
something is always touching you.
Air.
the ground.
Your clothes,
Clothes.
hopefully, in here.
Well, if you're naked, it would just be air or the ground.
Yeah,
Or
you're sitting, so yeah, you're something.
Unless you're hovering in the air, something's
in space.
touching
If
you.
you're naked in space, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the space station. The loudest way to open a bag of chips is to open them quietly. Every dog will tell you that. You see the memes where there's knocking on the door, the dog's sleeping, the doorbell rings, dog's sleeping, but you're in the next room and you do this,
Yeah,
and they're
boom, there they are.
right there on you. Why are they called hamburgers if they're made out of beef?
Beef. You're right. Why is a W a double V? It's not a U. The W is not a double U.
Why
it's
does
double
W?
V.
W sounds like a word, not a letter.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Okay. As a society, we just one day decided that vanilla was the opposite of chocolate.
Yeah, they're not opposites. They're just different.
And
Well,
what is
black
it?
and white, because black has all the colors, and black has absorbed all the colors, and white reflects all the colors. So black and white is chocolate and vanilla. But that's what.
Well, that's deep, man.
That's pretty heavy, man.
That's deep.
Notice I came right up with that though too.
All right. Bad Text Theater time. All right, let's see. We did the vampires. We did the AA. Yeah, this is a good one. I like that. Are you the waiter or are you the lady diner?
I'll be the lady diner.
All right. Don't screw this up because you're the main thing here, okay? All right.
Waiter, this soup is cold.
It's gazpacho, ma'am.
Very well, gazpacho. This soup is cold.
Fine, because what you call it. Very clever. All right, boys. Final thoughts as we off we go. It's
Monday.
Yeah, it's Monday. There we go. All right, Ura, Semper Fi. God bless you. Thank you for helping us and sending us checks and all that stuff. We love your support.
There's still time this month.
That's right. TheKimmerShow.net.
PayPal.
We can give you an address. PayPal. Patreon.com/KimmerShow. And again, we're trying to keep this going, and we really do appreciate it. In the meantime, hoorah! I gotta go. You're killing me. Look out, Semper Fi. Herp.